Good afternoon, listeners, and I'm Cindy. We hope you enjoyed our non-stop music in the last hour. It is now 2 p.m. and that means it's time for our discussion panel. Today we have Professor Fazira from Stanford who will contribute to our discussion, and on the line we have Mr. Keyman and Ms. Kelly who are both commentators in the mining industry. The topic for our discussion today focuses on the mining industry and to rank the companies on whether they are good corporate citizens in terms of the environment and social responsibility. Before we begin our discussion, let me just give all of you a brief summary on the 4 mining companies that we will be discussing today. So, first on the list is BHP Billiton Limited. It is a mining and exploration company and is one of the world's largest producers of major commodities. Mineral Resources, on the other hand, is a leading Australian-based diversified mining services provider. While Newcrest is the world's largest gold producer and a gold mining company that operates mines in 4 countries. Last but not least, we have Rio Tinto, which is a global mining group that has more than 30 operating sites and processing plants. So, over to you now, Professor Fazira, who will be sharing with us the criteria that we will need to consider in trying to determine the company's ranking.
Thank you, Zini. First and foremost, we would need to have a standardized set of criteria that can be used to make these comparisons among the 4 important mining companies in Australia. These criteria focus on general disclosure, which encompasses the environmental and social disclosures. The most important one would be the GRI G3 compliance, which features sustainability disclosures for transparent performance in key sustainability areas. GRI sustainability reporting guidelines are periodically reviewed to provide the best and optimal guidance for effective sustainability reporting. This results in G4 GRI guidelines launched in 2013, which will surpass the G3 from 1st of January 2016. A level A report application means that all the criteria outlined in the guidelines is fully disclosed, and an A+ sign signifies that the disclosure has been made externally. The International Council on Mining and Metals, ICMM, is one of the ones that we'll be using to determine the rankings. And then there's also MCA, which is the Minerals Council of Australia, the UN Global Compact, which is a very famous one for companies to comply with, and then the last but not least, we have JORC code.
That's a really detailed explanation. Thank you, Professor Fazira. Moving on to the first company, Newcrest, let's put Mr. Keyman on the line to share with us his views on this company's compliance.
Thank you for the calling. Newcrest has fulfilled the requirement of the ASX listing rules by complying with the JORC code 2012. Newcrest is also a member of MCA and adopts the ICMM framework besides reporting in compliance with GRI G3 to level A+. Newcrest's commitment to the people, planet and profit (PPP), or also known as triple bottom line, is set out in their environmental and social policy. Their environmental and social standards are outlined in the community health, environment and safety system. They're facilitating reporting, capturing and learning from events to mitigate risk. In the recent sustainability report, it's reported that the total recordable environmental incident frequency rate is less than 1.7. CSR have rated a score of 7 for their overall CSR performance.
That's indeed a huge achievement for Newcrest. Then what about Mineral Resources Limited's compliance then, Mr. Keyman?
For Mineral Resources, they only have an annual report for disclosure. Mineral Resources seems to be lacking of compliance, which may be due to its medium-scale company with revenue of 1.08 billion. Despite that, they have advanced to S&P ASX 100 in compliance with JORC. This is represent another milestone in the company's growth. Also, Mineral Resources is committed in maintaining a positive relationship with community, the environment, and customer, as they are a major key to sustainable growth and success. The company takes this relationship seriously and exercises its cooperative relationship in a positive way. CSR have rated a score of 46 for their overall CSR performance.
Thank you, Mr. Keyman, for your time and sharing. Now let's put Ms. Kelly on the line to share with us her outlook on BHP Billiton's compliance.
Hi, thank you for calling. So BHP Billiton's Sustainability Report 2014 has been prepared in accordance with the GRI G3 with A+ level reporting. as BHP is transitioning toward G4, reporting in 2015 is included within the sustainability report. As a member of or signatory to the ICMM, MCA, UNGC, GORC, and EITI, BHP Billiton has complied with the reporting principles advocated by these bodies. In regards to their environmental and social responsibility, BHP Billiton approach to environmental management is based on the durable identification, assessment, and the control of the material risks across all phases of the business. They engage with the stakeholders and take their perspectives and knowledge into account in their decision making. In Australia, a number of projects were implemented to address material water supply risk. On the other hand, at the Mount Arthur Coal Operation, also in Australia, a review of the complaints management systems was undertaken to distinguish between community concerns and actual complaints. This has facilitated proactive management and mitigation of community impacts. Therefore, CSR Hubs rates an overall score of 61 for their CSR compliance.
Looking good there for BHP. What about Rio Tinto's compliance?
Okay, Sinyi, so Rio Tinto has incorporated with the requirements of the 10 Sustainable Development Principles of the ICMM and set out the mandatory requirements into their own policies, strategies, and standards. They also report in line with the GRIG3 guidelines at the application level A+. Rio Tinto is also a member of MCA, UNGC, and GORC. Focusing on the environment and social aspects, Rio Tinto has been very responsible in the way it operates environmentally from water to waste management. In 2013, Rio Tinto achieved a notable decrease in freshwater withdrawal by 3.9% and made a targeted 6% reduction in their freshwater use per ton of production. And also, almost 99% of their waste production has been recycled. Rio Tinto also supported 2,200 social economic programs around the world, making community contributions up to $331 million. Therefore, CSR Hub rates an overall score of 60 for their CSR compliance.
Thank you, Kelly, for the insightful remark. Before we end this discussion, let's recap. Rio Tinto, BHP Billiton, and Newcrest have unanimously adopted the GRIG3 reporting to be as transparent and law-abiding as required. BHP Billiton has also already included some G4 disclosures in their 2014 sustainability report and is working towards full compliance to G4 in 2015. Similarly, Rio Tinto and Newcrest each have their own annual sustainability report on the respective programs, international initiatives, and guidelines, besides their very own in-house initiative on how these two issues on the environment and people were addressed. On the other hand, Mineral Resources, probably because of its smaller operations, is found to be lacking in this respect as they are neither G3 compliant nor has a sustainability report to show. Hence, this put BHP Billiton on top of the ranking, followed by Rio Tinto, Newcrest, and Mineral Resources. These rankings are also in line with the CSR ratings benchmarked by CSR Hub.
We believe that each and every company under our purview today is actually in their own respective ways a good corporate citizen in terms of their commitment to the well-being of the environment and their concern for the community that is one way or another related or affected by the operations.
In all matters that involve many stakeholders, any types of disclosure is always better than no disclosure, be it financial or otherwise. Shareholders and investors would be more geared towards financial disclosures, whereas environmentalists and non-governmental organizations such as the consumer bodies will be more interested in the environmental and social aspects of the disclosures. This is to ensure that the environment and people are not neglected or exploited by these companies in their quest for profit. As for the authorities, they would be interested in both types of the disclosures.
And as in all rankings, it is a recognition on the part of the companies in their effort to be an exemplar corporate citizen and the leaders in the industry. Investors, researchers, even university graduates and undergraduates would be interested, just like Newcrest being awarded Australia's most attractive employer in the mining and resource sector for 2013.
In today's environment, it is not an option for any company in any industry not to be green or to be conscious of the environment in which they operate. I would just like to conclude our discussion with the quote from the World Commission on Environment and Development report to the United Nations, that is, Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their needs. Thank you for listening to Media CBS broadcast and have a good day.